going to talk about distributive property and specifically how to connect it back to regular multiplication. So here I'm looking at 4 plus 3 times x plus 2. Now, a very common mistake is that students will take 4 plus 3 and make it into 7, and then they'll distribute 7 into x plus 2, but that is not correct. To make this make sense, we should take it all the way back to thinking about multiplication as repeated addition. This is 3 groups of 4. 4 plus 4 plus 4. Because that's really what this is. Distributive property. It's just hidden because the 4 is just one constant number. It's not changing. There's no variable in it. So adding that variable is what makes it confusing, of course, to children. Let's make the connection between 3 times 4 and 3 times 3 plus 1. And we know that 3 plus 1 is 4. We could simplify this, but ask students to explain how this also shows 3 plus 1 3 times. Well, you could write that as 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1. And these both simplify to 12. So that again is an important thing to understand. These are very much connected. Now the last piece is to then connect 3 times x plus 1. Now we don't know what part of this expression is because there's a variable, which by definition means it could be anything we don't know. It's no longer all just constants. So what can I do? Well, I can recognize this is still repeated addition. Instead of 4 plus 4 plus 4, it's x plus 1 plus x plus 1 plus x plus 1, because it's this factor 3 times. And this is just one factor, which many kids, because they don't spend enough time talking about vocabulary, don't recognize this as a single factor. They don't know what to call it except x plus 1. So when you combine all of these terms now, it should make sense to children that combining all these variables leads to 3 x's, and then combining all these 1's, which I would call a constant, leads you to 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is 3. So I'd recommend doing this instead of just doing the old-fashioned method of talking about literally distributing the 3 across both parts of the term, because even though kids can do that, once they see another term, like a 5, in front of that 3, they're not going to see any reason to not combine 5 plus 3, because kids really need to see that this term right here, 3 times x plus 1, this is the one term that needs to be simplified first before you add 5 to it. And that's really confusing for a lot of kids. So good luck, and I hope that you try to employ this with your own children or in the classroom. It'll help make sense of distributive property. Please like and follow Super Teacher Guy. I have lots of other videos on fractions and fraction sense making, and also how to solve equations using hands-on equations. Thanks.